Your account size is not your problem. I know you think it is. I know you have told yourself, if I just had more capital, everything would be different. But here's the truth that nobody in this industry wants to say out loud. Most traders who blow small accounts would blow large ones just as fast. Because the habits that destroy a $500 account are the exact same habits that destroy a $50,000 account. The amount of money does not change the behavior. The behavior changes the money. And today, I'm going to prove that to you and show you exactly how a small account can become your most powerful training ground. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to walk you through 3 specific traps that small account traders fall into. Traps that have nothing to do with the market and everything to do with mindset. I'll show you the psychology behind each one, and I'll give you the exact shift that turns a small account from a source of frustration into a genuine edge. By the end of this video, you will understand something that most traders take years to figure out. That the trader who can manage $500 with discipline will manage $50,000 the same way. And the trader who cannot manage $500 with discipline will always find a way to lose the bigger amount too. The account is not the variable. You are. Let's get into it. The make it worth it trap. How small accounts lead to oversized risk. Let me tell you about William. William is 26. He works as a delivery driver on weekends to save for his trading account. It took him 4 months to put together $400. He was proud of that money. He felt the weight of it. Every dollar was real effort. He opens his trading account. He logs in for the first time with real money. He looks at the pairs. He sees a setup he likes on your USD. He pulls up his lot size calculator. With his 1% risk rule, his correct position size is 0.02 lots. His maximum loss on this trade should be $4. He stares at that number, $4, and his brain immediately says, "This is ridiculous. A winning trade at this size makes me maybe $8 or $10. That is nothing. That is not even worth the screen time." So he adjusts the lot size. Not 0.02, he enters 0.20. 10 times larger. Now a losing trade will cost him $40. 10% of his account in a single trade. And a winning trade might make him $80 to $100. That feels real. That feels like it matters. Can you feel the logic he used? Can you see how reasonable it felt to him in that moment? The trade loses. He is down $40. He's at $360. He feels sick. He opens another trade, bigger again, trying to recover. Loses again. In 2 weeks, Usman's $400 becomes $190. He deposits another $200 from his savings. The cycle continues. 6 months later, William has deposited over $1,000 in total. His account currently holds $140. He has not blown one account. He has slowly bled the same account dry, over and over, because the idea of trading small felt pointless, and the pull to trade big felt necessary. William is not reckless. He is not a gambler by nature. He is a hard-working young man who fell into one of the most common and devastating traps in retail trading, the belief that small position sizes are not worth taking, so large position sizes become emotionally justified. Have you ever looked at the dollar value of a correctly sized trade and thought, this is too small to matter? Almost every small account trader has. And that thought, that one seemingly logical thought, is the beginning of most small account failures. Let me show you exactly why it happens. The psychology behind this is called proportional thinking distortion. Your brain evaluates gains and losses in relative terms, not absolute ones. A $4 gain feels trivial to Usman because he compares it to his total effort and his total goal. It doesn't feel proportional to the journey he took to get here. But here's the critical error in that thinking. Usman is not evaluating whether the trade is sized correctly for his account. He is evaluating whether the dollar value of the outcome feels meaningful to him emotionally. And those are two completely different questions. A correct position size is determined by your account balance and your risk rule, not by how much the dollar amount satisfies your emotional need for significance. There's also something called the reference point problem. Usman sees $4 and compares it to his monthly salary, his bills, or the income he imagines trading will eventually produce. Against any of those reference points, $4 is embarrassing. But the correct reference point is his account size. And against a $400 account, $4 profit on a single trade is exactly right. It is the professional amount, the sustainable amount, the amount that keeps him in the game for the long run. And there's a third psychological force at work here: urgency. Small account traders often feel a pressure to grow fast because the gap between where they are and where they want to be is enormous. And that urgency, that feeling of needing to compress the timeline, pushes them toward oversized risk every single time. They are not trying to blow the account. They are trying to shortcut the journey. And the market punishes that shortcut without exception. So what's the actual fix? How do you make peace with small position sizes when they feel emotionally insignificant? Change what you measure, completely and permanently. Stop measuring your success in dollars per trade. Start measuring it in percentage returns and process quality. Here is why this matters. A $4 profit on a $400 account is a 1% return. A $4,000 profit on a $400 zero account is also a 1% return. The skill that produces the 1% is identical. The discipline that manages the trade correctly is identical. The only difference is the number of zeros in the account. When you measure yourself by percentage, suddenly a $4 trade is no longer trivial. It is the same professional result as $4,000 in a larger account. You are developing the same skill. You are building the same habit. You are proving to yourself, trade by trade, that you can execute correctly. And correct execution at 1% on a small account is the exact training that produces correct execution at 1% on a large account later. Here is a reframe that changes everything for small account traders. Your small account is not your destination. It is your training ground. Every trade you take right now is not about the dollar outcome. It is about the behavioral pattern you are building. You are rehearsing the exact decisions you will one day make with 10 times this capital. If you take oversized risk now, when the stakes are low, you are rehearsing oversized risk. And that habit will follow you to every future account, every larger balance, every funded account you ever get. The size changes. The behavior does not, unless you deliberately change it now. Practical rule: never let the dollar value of a trade influence your position size. Calculate your risk correctly first, using the 1% rule. Then look at the lot size. Commit to that size regardless of how small the dollar profit looks. Your commitment to correct sizing right now is building the most valuable asset in trading: consistent, reliable discipline that scales. Usman eventually understood this. He reset. New account, $300. Strict 1% rule. No exceptions. His first 3 months were humbling. His profits were small. His losses were small too. By month 4, he had turned $300 into $390. 30% growth in 4 months. Not from a big win. From 26 correctly sized, patiently managed trades. And for the first time, he didn't feel like the account size was the problem. He felt like he was becoming the kind of trader who deserves a larger account. That shift in feeling changed everything. What would your trading look like if you measured every trade in percentages instead of dollars? Starting today. Try it for 30 days. The discipline you build in that period is worth more than any deposit you could make. Measure every trade in percentage returns, not dollar amounts. A 1% gain on $500 builds the exact same skill as a 1% gain on $500,000. Your small account is your training ground. Treat it like one. The comparison trap: how other people's accounts are destroying your focus. Meet Martha. Martha has been trading for 8 months. She has a $600 account. She has been working hard. She has studied. She has a system she actually believes in, and her results, when she trades without distraction, are genuinely encouraging. But Martha follows 30 trading accounts on social media. She watches traders post their daily profits, screenshots of winning trades, account statements showing $2,000 weeks. She sees traders in trading groups talking about the $50,000 funded accounts they are managing. She reads comments where traders casually mention their small account being $10,000. And every time she sees this content, something inside her deflates. She looks at her $600 account and feels embarrassed. She starts to question whether she is even in the right game. She starts to wonder if the traders posting those screenshots know something she doesn't. Some secret strategy, some special edge that explains why they are operating on a completely different level. What do you think happens to her trading when she is in this mental state? She starts making decisions that are not about her account, her system, or her current development stage. She starts making decisions driven by the need to close the gap she perceives between herself and the traders she is watching. She takes more trades, bigger trades. She follows trade alerts from traders she does not know, without understanding the reasoning behind those trades, because being in those trades makes her feel like she belongs in the bigger conversation. 3 trades copied from a Twitter alert. All losers. She did not understand the entries. She did not have stop losses that made sense for her account. She was not trading her system. She was trading someone else's highlight reel, and the market charged her accordingly. In 1 month of comparison-driven trading, Layla's $600 became $390, not from bad analysis. From abandoning her own approach to imitate accounts that showed her no context, no losses, no full picture, just the wins. The comparison trap is not just about feeling bad. It actively changes your behavior. It pulls you out of your system and into someone else's. And that switch, from your established plan to reactive imitation, is one of the most reliable ways to damage an account fast. Why it happens? Social comparison is one of the most deeply wired human behaviors. From an evolutionary perspective, comparing yourself to others in your group was how you assessed your relative position, your safety, your status, your chances of success. That instinct has not disappeared. It has simply moved from physical survival to financial performance. And social media has turned that ancient instinct into a catastrophic distortion. Because what you see on trading social media is not a balanced picture of trading reality. It is a curated highlight reel. The $2,000 day gets posted. The $800 losing week does not. The funded account achievement gets celebrated. The 3 blown accounts that came before it are never mentioned. You are comparing your full trading reality, including your struggles and your small account, to other people's filtered performances. That comparison is not just unfair, it is factually incorrect. You are comparing real to fake. There's also a concept called social proof distortion. When you see many people apparently succeeding with large accounts and fast results, your brain interprets that as evidence of the correct path. This must be how it's done. I must be missing something. I need to do what they're doing. But the crowd in trading social media is not a reliable guide. The loudest voices are usually not the most successful ones. The most successful traders are often the quietest ones, executing their process away from an audience. How much of your trading behavior is actually driven by what you see other traders doing online versus what your own system tells you to do? Be honest with yourself, because the influence might be larger than you realize. And that influence is costing you in ways you are probably not fully tracking. The fix is radical, and I mean that literally. You need to radically reduce your exposure to trading social media during your active development phase. I'm not saying delete all accounts forever. I'm saying for the next 60 days, unfollow or mute every trading account that posts profit screenshots, large account sizes, or lifestyle content tied to trading results. Keep only educational content that teaches you something you can apply to your own system. Everything else is noise, and noise is expensive. Here's why this works. Your focus is finite. Every time you look at someone else's account and compare it to yours, you are spending focus. And focus spent on comparison is focus not spent on your own development, your own review, your own system improvement. The comparison does not make you a better trader. It makes you an anxious, reactive one. Replace comparison content with your own data. Build what I call a personal trading dashboard. Not a profit dashboard, a development dashboard. Track the number of trades you took that met all your criteria this week. Track your average risk to reward ratio over the last month. Track your process score per trade. Track how many consecutive sessions you honored your 2-loss daily rule. These are the numbers that tell you how you are actually developing as a trader, not someone else's P&L, not a funded account screenshot. Your numbers, your trajectory, your growth curve, however slow it feels right now. And here's a truth that will reframe the comparison entirely once you internalize it. The traders with large accounts who are consistently profitable did not start with large accounts and immediately find success, almost without exception. They started small. They had the same $300 to $1,000 beginnings that you have right now. The difference between them and the traders who quit is not that they found a shortcut to large capital. It is that they respected the small capital phase. They built their discipline and their habits on small accounts. And that foundation, solid and tested, allowed them to scale when larger capital became available. You are not behind. You are exactly where every successful trader was at some point in their journey. The question is not, how do I get to their account size faster? The question is, am I building the habits right now that will make me deserve that account size when it comes? Martha made the switch. She muted 42 trading accounts in one afternoon. She replaced them with her own weekly tracking spreadsheet. For 2 months, she had no idea what anyone else's account was doing. She only knew what her account was doing, and what her account was doing, for the first time in 8 months, was growing. Steadily, without drama, without comparison. Just clean, quiet, consistent progress. Who are you comparing yourself to right now that is pulling you away from your own process? Name them, and then mute them. Not out of bitterness, out of self-protection. Because your attention is one of your most valuable trading assets. Protect it accordingly. Mute the profit screenshots and the large account content. Replace comparison with your own development data. Your trajectory is the only one that matters. Stop spending focus on someone else's highlight reel. The real edge lies inside the trader, not inside the account. Let me tell you about 2 traders who started trading in the same month. Same broker, same pairs, same market conditions. Call them Michael and John. Michael starts with $5, Sow 0. He has savings. He has been waiting until he had enough to trade properly. He deposits with confidence. He feels ready. He trades aggressively from day one because with $5,000, he can afford to take bigger positions, he thinks. His first month, down $800. He adjusts nothing. Month 2, down another $600. He starts changing strategies. Month 3, he discovers a new system online and starts fresh. Down again. After 6 months, Rashid's $5,000 is $2,100. He is frustrated. He cannot understand why more capital has not solved the problem. John starts with $350. He knows the account is small. He accepts it completely. He is not embarrassed by it. He sees it as what it is, a learning budget. He sets a strict 1% risk rule. He follows it on every trade. He keeps a detailed journal. He does his Sunday review every single week without exception. He does not follow profit posting accounts. He does not change his strategy based on a bad week. He stays the course. What happens to Kareem's $350 over 6 months? It becomes $490. Not spectacular in dollar terms, but in percentage terms, 40% growth. And more importantly, his process score over those 6 months has steadily climbed. His entries have become cleaner. His exits are more disciplined. His emotional state during trades has noticeably stabilized. He has built something that Michael, with 15 times the capital, has not built at all. He has built a reliable system of behaviors. An edge. At the 6-month mark, John applies for a prop firm evaluation. He passes on his first attempt. He is now managing a $25,000 funded account, with the exact same behaviors he built on $350. Within 2 months, he is profitable on the funded account. The capital scaled. The habits were already there. Michael, meanwhile, deposits another $2,000 from savings. He starts again. With the same habits, the same result is waiting for him, because no amount of money fixes a psychology problem. This is not a story about Kareem being smarter than Michael. This is a story about one trader understanding what the edge actually is, and another trader never questioning his assumption that capital was the edge. Why it happens? The belief that more capital equals better trading is one of the most persistent and damaging myths in retail trading. And it persists because it feels logical. More capital means more flexibility, more room for drawdowns, more ability to diversify, more psychological ease, because one losing trade is a smaller percentage of the whole. All of that sounds reasonable. But every one of those advantages assumes that the trader's behavior remains disciplined regardless of account size. And here's what actually happens. When traders have more capital, they typically take more risk, not less. More capital means larger lot sizes feel affordable. More capital means holding losing trades longer because the loss doesn't look as proportionally devastating. More capital means less urgency to be disciplined because there's a larger buffer protecting the trader from immediate consequences. The buffer that large capital provides is actually a discipline suppressant for undisciplined traders. It reduces the immediate negative feedback from bad decisions. And reduced negative feedback means the bad decisions continue longer and do more total damage before the lesson arrives. Small capital, counterintuitively, is a discipline enforcer. With $350, every mistake is immediately felt. Every oversized position is immediately visible in the account. The feedback loop is tight. And tight feedback loops, as painful as they are actually the fastest training environment available. Have you ever thought about the fact that your small account might be the most honest teacher you have ever had in trading? It punishes bad decisions quickly. It rewards good decisions clearly. It does not allow you to hide from poor discipline behind a large buffer. Every single choice you make, right or wrong, shows up in that small account with brutal clarity. That is not a disadvantage. That is the most valuable feedback system in existence for a developing trader. The edge in trading is not in the account. It is in the behaviors, the decision-making framework, the emotional regulation under pressure, the consistency of process across different market conditions, the ability to take a loss cleanly, without revenge trading, without panic, without abandoning the system. These abilities are built, not bought, and they are built on small accounts, in real market conditions, under real pressure. That is the only place they get built properly. Redefine what you are building right now. Completely reframe the purpose of your small account. You are not trying to turn $350 into $3,500 as fast as possible. You are building a set of trading behaviors that will work at any account size. You are building the discipline infrastructure that scales. And every single session, every trade you manage correctly, every impulse you resist, every process commitment you honor is adding a brick to that infrastructure. Here are 3 specific behaviors to focus on right now, regardless of account size. These are the behaviors that define trader quality. Not account size, not win rate alone, not even strategy. These 3 things. Behavior 1, consistent position sizing. Every trade 1% risk. No exceptions. No, this one is different. No, I really believe in this setup. 1%, always. This single behavior, applied without exception across hundreds of trades, is what keeps you alive long enough to get good. Behavior 2, the trade journal. After every single trade, Write down the entry reason, the outcome, and one observation about your emotional state during the trade. Not an essay, 3 sentences, 3 minutes. This creates the data you need to understand your own patterns. Without this data, you are flying blind and calling it experience. Behavior 3, the Sunday review. Every weekend, before the new week starts, spend 30 minutes reviewing every trade from the past week. Not to beat yourself up, to learn. One specific thing to improve next week. One specific thing you did well that you want to repeat. This practice compounds. After 12 weeks of honest Sunday reviews, you will know yourself as a trader better than most people who have been trading for years without reviewing anything. These 3 behaviors, consistent sizing, daily journaling, weekly review, are the behaviors of professional traders. They are available to you right now on your $350 account, on your $600 account, on whatever you have in front of you today. You do not need more money to build these habits. You need only the commitment to build them. And when you have built them, truly built them, not just read about them, 2 things will happen. First, your account will start growing. Because disciplined behavior, applied consistently, produces positive outcomes over time. That is mathematical. Second, when larger capital arrives, through your own savings, through a prop firm, through an investor, you will manage it exactly the same way you managed the small account. Because the habits are already there. They are already part of how you operate. The capital does not create the habits. The habits attract the capital. That is the right order. And most traders have it backwards their entire trading career. John knew this from the beginning. That is why he treated his $350 like it was $35,000. Not because the numbers were the same, they weren't, but because the behaviors had to be the same. And because he trained himself on $350 the way a professional would behave on $35,000. The transition to actual larger capital was seamless. The habits traveled with him. The discipline traveled with him. The edge traveled with him. Are you treating your current account with the same discipline you would bring to a funded account 10 times larger? If not, start today. Because the discipline you bring to your smallest account is the blueprint for every account that comes after it. Get the blueprint right while the stakes are low. Because when the stakes get higher, there will be no time to learn what you should have built already. The edge is in the behaviors, not the balance. Treat your small account with the same discipline you would bring to a $50,000 account. Consistent sizing, daily journaling, weekly review. Build it now. The capital will follow. Let's bring today together. 3 specific traps that small account traders fall into, and 3 exact shifts that change everything. Trap 1. Trading oversized risk because small positions feel pointless. The psychology behind it is real. The dollars feel trivial. The urgency to grow feels urgent, and oversized risk feels like the only logical response. The fix. Measure every trade in percentage returns. A 1% gain is a 1% gain, whether the account is $500 or $500. Your small account is a training ground. Every correctly sized trade is building the habit that scales. The discipline you build now is the foundation everything else is built on. Trap 2. Comparison to larger accounts on social media. The psychology is ancient. We are wired to compare. But the comparison in trading is a distortion. You are comparing your full reality to someone else's highlight reel. It costs you focus, confidence, and often your own system, as you abandon your approach to imitate theirs. The fix: mute the noise. Replace comparison content with your own development data. Track your process scores, your risk management consistency, your review discipline. Your trajectory is the only one that matters. Trap 3. Believing that more capital is the solution to trading problems. The psychology is seductive. More money means more flexibility, more room to breathe, more chance to succeed. But undisciplined traders blow large accounts faster than small ones, not slower. The fix: redefine the purpose of your small account. You are not trying to get rich fast. You are building behaviors. 3 behaviors: consistent 1% sizing, daily journaling, weekly review. These behaviors, built now on small capital, travel with you to every larger account you ever manage. Your account size is not your edge. You are your edge. A small account with disciplined behavior will always outperform a large account with emotional reactive behavior. Always. The market does not reward capital. It rewards discipline, patience, and consistent execution over time. You have access to all 3 of those things right now, today, with whatever account size is in front of you. Start there. Build there. Because the trader you become on this small account is the trader who will manage the large one later. If this video shifted something for you, subscribe right now and hit the bell. Every week I publish content at exactly this depth. No lifestyle flexing, no profit screenshots. Just the honest, practical psychology and discipline work that actually builds real traders over time. And in the next video, I'm going to give you the complete daily routine of a disciplined trader, from the moment they wake up to the moment they close the platform. The exact morning preparation that sets the mindset, the session structure that keeps execution clean, the end-of-day review that makes every session a learning experience. This is the blueprint that most traders never see. Don't miss it. Subscribe. See you there.